Don't tell you I can't. It is not. It is not.
Well, my wife for 42 years would enjoy me.
Yeah.
You know, we traveled and we were just in South Africa, it was a month, 3 weeks ago. And it was our second trip. And, you know, we see experiences while we're waiting. It's an experience I didn't see the first trip. I saw black and white. I saw poor. I saw rich. This time, I saw the same thing, except I found out what color me. Why did I have to be almost 62 years old to really understand what color means? It didn't mean the same thing in America as it means right now today in South Africa. Color means there's white, there's black, there's color. Colors on the bottom, color is light-skinned people. You got a variation of being white and black. Therefore, we throw you over here in the color patch. If you're darker than a certain grade they have, now you're black. And you know, Social Security wise and all that, you can get more money being black than color.
Really?
Here, you yellow skin, you was in the house. You was favored. It's different over there.
You're a house nigga.
I just saw this shit, man, 3 weeks ago, and I'm like, for real. So the Europeans really went over there and messed up.
Not just over there.
Yeah.
Everywhere. Yeah. And I try, and we're live now, so we're about to get started. I try to remind our people as much as possible, every opportunity I get, that although we were kidnapped and brought here and enslaved, I do not know if it's worse than being colonized, because when you're colonized, they move into your home. And we got to understand that the same thing happened by the same people. I like to say, same white boy, different accent, but they're cousins.
Yeah.
So we got to keep that in mind, because they are most certainly connected.
Yeah, that was deep what you just said.
Yeah, well, you know, I tried. She gave me that last week. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get started. So really quickly, the intro, I'm Brother Tamani Mondani of the Black Gold Nation and Growth for Care Alliance. We're here with Brother Efrem Jernigan.
Yes.
All right, who's going to talk to us and he's gonna try not to get too deep, but we want to keep in mind that the destruction of our youth is a plan that other people have. And that plan has been and will continue to be very successful if we don't have people who've been gifted with solutions and answers and how to, if we don't support them in what they're trying to do. What we're up against, no one person, no one organization, no one group can fully successfully combat against. So it's going to take a unified effort. And this brother and what he does, and he's about to talk about it, is most certainly a part of that unified effort. So on that note, I'm gonna turn it over to you, brother. Do your thing and let's be black.
Now, we've been joking about names. Mine's Efrem.
Efrem.
His is
Tamani.
See, I said it wrong. But anyway, we've been calling each other the wrong name all morning, so it only felt fair to joke about it. And then there's another sister, I know I'm gonna get her name wrong, so I'm just gonna leave it alone, all right?
Okay.
Okay, but once again, I'm Efrem Jernigan, President, South Union Community Development, here in the Houston, Texas area. And we're really serving Sunnyside. Now, I said that to say this. About 15 years ago, a vision came. And the vision was, look at your life. Look at how you made it. God was there, but was he God? And what I mean by that is a lot of times we get around 20 to 30 years old and we don't really let somebody guide until we mess up. In my situation, you know, I didn't go to jail, prison, nothing like that, but I'm in the Air Force and I found myself not wanting to, I wanted to change. In other words, I didn't like when the Air Force told me you can upgrade, up, whatever it is, and you don't get a bonus. But I've heard about others that they were getting an incentive to, you know, to re-enlist. You was in the Army, I was in the Air Force.
I was in the Army, yes,
Little different. And so it angered me. I'm like, I'm in the state of McDonnell Douglas. Why don't I reach out to them? Sent a resume, it was all looking good. He was even starting to look like General Dynamics. Well, get out. That opportunity died the week before it made the news. I'm like, oh, well, I'm still getting out. I can make it because I'm not following myself. I'm following who? God. Therefore, got out, landed in the chemical plant industry. Well, when you're in the industry for about 5 years, you start looking around, when the rest of me coming.
That's right.
Well, it didn't look like we were making progress toward even recruiting. So I asked a question one day, how can I be on the selection team? That led to the hiring process, which told me we weren't marketing in certain places. We weren't marketing in Houston. And so I came up with the idea, if I make the STEM Foundation with the objective of taking kids from inner city Houston, exposing them to oil and gas, if they see a seed and it grows, it becomes a tree that has $100,000 a year job, and they get to see middle class and maybe, the upper echelon. So that's really what the foundation was all about. Exposure by a brother. That's Sunnyside right there. More Sunnyside in the house. Good to see you, Chris. So we're talking about the STEM Foundation. So if you're taking Sunnyside kids, you're introducing them to success. Because I remember the days when I was growing up, I wasn't introduced to success. I was introduced how to sell dope. And yeah, I did it, didn't get caught. But one in a million. Therefore, when you switch that, I'm making opportunity. I need to show them, took field trips, they come out to the community, and that has grown to become international. Now we run a program called Geek. Now I just had some surgery. What did I just say?
Geek.
See,
Geek.
my G's don't come out the way they used to. But G, Global Education Exchange Coalition. Now, the exchange part is the part I want you to get. Now, I might be almost 62, but that's still a whole lot more exchanging I want to do. You know what an exchange means? Come on, sister.
Say that again.
What does an exchange mean?
It means sharing, yeah.
And if I go to the South African culture and we bring over American culture, we have an exchange and we have wow moments. Now, here's the latest. There's a wow moment that we found out about this year, and it's called the digital divide. Tracy knows a little bit about that. Now, even in Sunnyside,
Sure.
Travis, Tracy, he should be here. Yeah. So we shouldn't have it in Sunnyside, but we have it. Now, 3 years ago, an organization called ISOC, appreciate y'all, funded us. We got internet in Sunnyside.
Okay.
But we went black, just being honest.
Okay.
Gave one of us an opportunity and delayed the process, but it really wasn't his fault.
Okay.
One of us going through the Houston permitting process is gonna take 18 to 24 months. The other guy might take him 6 months.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, we making it through. So the whole objective of money is this. If the guy that gave you $175,000 told you I want to come to Sunnyside and see it work, think I ain't gonna make it work? Right? So they're international, they're coming. So I decided, I ain't never had a Monday STEM class, but I'm gonna have one this year.
Okay.
I'm gonna have internet working, kids in my program coming out to look at an electric bus they can ride in. They're gonna see aquaponics with fish going on. They're gonna see solar running the whole process.
Wow.
They're gonna see our EV charging station. They're gonna see that we're directly across the street from the future 50 megawatt solar farm that Hoorah. Now, how all of this can come to reality, it wasn't just me.
Mhm.
Like I said, to God goes the glory because he give me a thought, I run it.
Amen.
Because my faith is strong.
Amen.
If I believe in what you woke me up with, I can run on that. That's how I came to. Now, I'm gonna flip, because I think I got about 10 more minutes. But there is an event, Labor Day STEM Camp, 9 to 12, 3410 Reed Road, 77051. Be on time, because a lot is gonna happen early that's gonna help you later on. Remember what I said. We don't mind paying for performance. We believe in a 9 o'clock child is the one that's gonna get the meat. Don't show up at 11 expecting to get paid. I don't see it the same way Jesus did. Anyway, so with that being said, let's talk about the solar farm. When you have an administration that set something in place that truly was a blessing to Houston,
Mhm.
it could shine a light. Now, just because you are a black man and you come in as a mayor and you have to look at your situation, specifically your budget, wise decision. You can only do with what you have.
Mhm.
Good excuse. But if you have an opportunity to where somebody can come in and finance the whole project, and all you do is sit around the table and absorb the glory of having the first urban solar farm in Houston, you should.
Yeah.
So that is what this is really all evolved into. STEM kids were taught how to do math, really through how to produce solar.
Okay.
Don't want to leave this part out. It took me about maybe 6 years to realize the weakest class in my STEM program. Science, they love. Technology, they play it on computers.
Mhm.
Engineering, they thought. On the fourth Saturday, we would do math. Put somebody on that block chalkboard.
Uh-huh.
I can look out in the audience and tell who I lost.
That's right.
I can tell who was framed. So when I ask you to come up here and do something, I can tell by the way you walking up whether
That's
you're
right.
gonna do it
Yeah.
or you done already clammed up.
That's right.
So here's the blessing. All the glory goes to God. When you realize solar came in at the same time you needed change.
Yeah.
So I said, what? Let me learn solar. I was just exposed to it. So what I do, I put it on my parents' home.
Mhm.
If it's gonna work, I'm gonna see it because my parents ain't gonna have no light bill.
Right.
Man, first bill I got, Tracy, you might, Travis, see, he started this, Travis started this. Man, we started off jacking each other's name up. Now, the only somebody that here ain't got no hard name is Kim. We might need to change his name, but going back, I put solar on my birth home for me to learn.
Okay.
We got the first bill. I started on a Wednesday. The hell with the curriculum of the STEM Foundation. My curriculum became, I'm gonna print out 36 bills. And I'm gonna say, parents, stand over your child and explain to them what you're looking at. They all look puzzled. I said, okay, let me draw your attention. The part that says a negative $384, what does that mean?
Means that you got a credit. They owe you.
So they and their kids saw what that meant.
Mhm.
And so I say, solar produces. As long as the sun shines, you're making more than what your house needs, so you should always be in the negative.
Mhm.
So that's when I was really first convinced. And guess what? We started teaching math through solar.
Okay. Okay.
Because in reality, 1,000 is just like a dollar. You can count dollars. But if you're talking about 4,000 kilowatts, you're just counting in thousands. And so if your light bill is 3,600, but you produce 4,000, you got a $400 credit. And so I found it's so much easier for Black folks to just look at your year's worth of bills. What's the average? If the average is 4,000 kilowatts, put 5,000 on your house, right? And you should overcome, and you should always have a credit. But then, I don't mean to talk black and white, but this is really about Black education.
Yes, sir.
Now, we're in an all state. Watch this. Do you think people would actually manipulate and get ahead of something and say, we want to flood the market with people that do so wrong in the Black community so that they speak for us? One Black experience can tell everybody else, man, so little good, I got it on my house, this happened.
Yeah.
Well, it was set up that way. They wanted it to fail, so you would be the spokesperson to kill your community moving in that direction.
Yeah.
Because we like gossip, we'll listen to that, but Travis, I built a model in my backyard for this purpose, because I know how we are. If I put solar on my house, this 2021, ice storm, my parents didn't lose power, they got shut off.
Okay.
So I come over there and man, I'm pissed off. I'm like, hell, I put solar on here, you shut it off? So what I do? 12 on the roof. I took one of my classes, we built 6 on the ground, we made a 4-foot with 6 on top, 12. This 12 I'm running through batteries. The batteries running into my house. So my parents are now off the grid. Centerpoint shut me down now. They can't.
Right.
So I found a way to realize what they were doing. You can sell solar, but if it's going to the grid, when the grid down, you down.
That's right.
And if you're tied in the batteries, you can live through a storm for good 3 days. But it's all about education. If we don't know, we don't know.
That's right.
If we're not exposed to a model, we really won't know, because we're gonna believe a lie
That's right.
before we believe what our own lives show us. So that's really what the STEM Foundation, South Union Community Development, that's what we're really all about. I'd rather show you how it works than to tell you, because I'm into believers. I don't believe in doubters. You will know after experiencing me, it is or it ain't. Did I say it?
All right. I'm gonna certainly have some questions. Does anyone else have a question first?
Yeah, I have a couple questions. So, can you, about how many students have complete the program?
That's a great question, 15 years, because I'm gonna start this way. When we first started off, don't mean to point, but this is my history. I tell it the way it was. I started off with 8 kids on the Houston Area Urban League program. My 6 turned into about 16. We were high performing. To me, if I double in 3 to 4 months, I must be doing something interesting, right?
That's right.
If I look at the rest of your groups that's performing for you, and none of them did better than me, I decided to have a gala May, same year, invite you, offer you a table, you didn't come and sit at my table. Therefore, you disvalued me. So the next year, you asked me to be in your program, and that's why I created my own, the STEM Foundation. We're doing well, and then we had an opportunity. We talked about Houston Urban League, Justin Robinson. Yeah, I started the STEM program in the Justin Robinson building. I think I've done the family proud. Thank you for coming out touring what we're doing in Sunnyside. I thought we'd be doing solar workforce development training together, but apparently we're not. Look forward to us doing it together. Just want to let you know, I need you to grow. You apparently didn't need me to grow, but help me. Thank you, Justin. So back to the community.
Well.
But in reality, I don't know how much longer I got to live. right? So I gotta say what I need right now. You know what I mean? Cause I help more people than people help me.
Come on, come on.
And so, to me, my reward is what he thinks about what I've come.
Right.
And so let's talk about him as I close. Now, I know we're getting ready to do questions, but here's the glory for it. When I wrote all of this, I was around 54, 55 years old.
Okay.
I said I was gonna work for 30 years and retire, which means 55. So around October, I knew I was going to South Africa for the first trip, and it was gonna be June, July. So I ain't retiring till next October, and I'll really be 55. Well, who'd have known in February I would have a stroke on the job? And I'm an EMT. So I'm sitting here 11 o'clock at night, getting numb on the right side. I already knew I'm having a stroke. Fellas, come over here and do my blood pressure. I'm high and normal. So I get dispatched, I find out I had a stroke 10 days later. And a stroke simply means loss of blood flow to your brain. Seconds immediately start your brain to decay. You go from red to brown. And so when they look at a scan 10 days later, they see the brain, see one spot, I mean it happened once, see another, it happened twice, three episodes that you had where you lost flow. So now you got these little black balls. If they mean 1% loss, could mean more. That means you're now 97% who you was. So I've taken a bunch of cognitive tests, and I don't do as well as I used to do. But here's the but God part. I think I have inherited 3%.
Okay.
I'm running on 103 octane. I don't think like I used to.
Okay.
I walk more by faith now.
That's right.
So you can call it talking shit, but I talk how I feel,
Yeah.
and it's becoming real. Therefore, it is not I,
Yeah.
but it is him.
Yeah. We call that wisdom.
I call it, I learned how to get out of the way.
Amen.
A lot of times we're in our own way.
Sure.
He trying to guide us, and there's a beautiful song I'll share one day called God.
Okay.
And that's all he want to do. And every last one of our lives is guide you so you be what I made you to be.
Okay.
Imagine it.
All right.
And so we don't get out of the way. We mess everything up, but he's guiding me. And so everything that's going to happen, you heard it from me, but he was said to stop.
Yeah. All right.
Question.
So that's it. You got it. Okay.
No, quick question. So do you partner with other organizations to kind of like implement or help them? Because we have like a STEM program that's earmarked under our nonprofit, but it hasn't manifested yet. So I'm just wondering, do you collaborate with other people to help them get STEM programs up?
The main reason why he's recording is because Jackie, the same girl sings God Me, sings a song called I'll Run It. Show Me the Way. I don't know if you ever heard that, but you hear that soon as you hang around me. And I ran into Unity One. And when I realized what the mission was, because missions are important. You probably don't know, but our mission is sowing seeds. Everything I do, I'm sowing something. If I do it well enough, I'm gonna make a plant.
That's right.
And that plant's gonna turn into a tree. And so when you meet somebody and you understand the mission, to unify. And I look at so many Black organizations that, you know, we've been talking about this already today. We can't see because we see it ourselves.
That's right.
Whoa. But until we can see the bigger picture,
That's right.
and the reality, just like I don't know if it's the Lakers or whether you was whatever fan, but when you watch the five play, they all knew what their skill set was, what they could do best for the team. They got over there in their lane, they performed.
That's right.
When we as unified nonprofits, civic clubs, come to a meeting and say, the big picture, this is what I can do well to make it become the beautiful picture.
That's right.
Do my role, we all get credit.
That's right.
That's all I can say about that.
All right. I have a two-part question. Why STEM and why did you add the arts and agriculture and architecture?
That's a great question. STEM, because it allowed an opportunity to take field trips. Now I'm gonna rephrase this. If I knew Lyondell, Basell, Shell, Exxon would put money into my program and they would allow me to, they would come out on the weekend, they would talk 20, 30 minutes, talk about their career, how long they went to school, and connect with kids, and now the kids have fellowship, right?
Oh, okay.
So I was able to pull all that into the STEM Foundation and take the field trips, because the field trips is really how you really get to see STEM in action.
Okay.
So if I tell you I work at a chemical plant, all you know is it's chemical.
Right.
But if I can tell you a polypropylene gas that you can't see is converted into a powder that's melted, that turns into little bitty plastic pellets, and then they make water bottles out of it. Now you can see it.
That's right.
Right?
Yeah.
So that was the part of the program that really made it pop off the page. Now, if you provide an opportunity to do international trip, now you're doing even more exposure. So we were already doing solar. So we bought, I think we spent $100 off of eBay, bought 100 solar lamp panels about the size of a dollar. About a 6-foot cord with a bulb on the end of it. We were in Cliptown where Mandela signed the proclamation to clear slavery. In Cliptown, I'm finna make an illustration. Don't be offended, but it's what's going on right now. Imagine if I'm standing 10 foot that way to you, my sister, 10 foot away. That's what I lived in. No bathroom there. I pretty much slept over in this corner, my kitchen, where the kids go study. They ain't got no light. They still using kerosene lamp. That's what she cooking and they study. 10 by 10. In these villages, it can be 100 of these little shacks. Everybody using a porta potty. And nobody's servicing the porta potty, so are you really using the porta potty?
That's right. Yeah.
Because it's taking more to go in than it is out.
Yeah.
So we give 100 lamps. Man, these people are putting them up. We go by to see how many hung. Man, you gave out 100, you see about 70, I'm good.
Okay.
They're using them. And so we had an opportunity to go back. And now there's 85 kids. Here's my crying moment. Now, 2 kids that we brought were the youngest in the group, 3rd, 4th grade. So we asked these 18-year-olds to present the lamps to the elder people in the community. I'll share the video to make a whole lot more sense. Well, they were afraid. Kids in my program are not afraid to speak. When kids get to the age of 15, they need to practice speaking because they got to sell themselves. You ain't only gonna sell dope, you gotta be able to sell you. All right, so we teach them how to present so that they can stand on their own 2 feet. All right, so the 3rd and 4th graders said, we'll do it. I'm sitting there being the videographer, crying like a baby. Because I put seeds in there.
That's right.
And them seeds are produced.
That's right.
I got video today
Yeah.
to show the least of monsters, they ain't afraid yet.
That's right.
It's when we get older, we start getting that fear of, I can't do that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to kill that girl.
That's right. Yeah.
What was the next question?
I have another one. Do you have one? Got a question?
Yeah, I've been doing Efrem all my life, Miss Minnie started very good friends. I know how hard you worked on this. How long did it take for you to discover how the city was just giving you a runaround? Cause I know how they do, man.
Yeah.
And that was behind the scenes, I'm just being honest,
Come on.
it was making me mad.
Yeah.
Because I see firsthand, like I can chop a rock
Mhm.
and hit his spot.
Okay.
He don't go begging them for nothing,
That's
uses
my
all
God.
the money. I see him walking the kids, cleaning up, going back and forth to the garden. I actually see this visually. And I'm like, they just giving him
Yeah.
the runaround with it.
Yeah, perspective is everything.
Right.
You know, from the outside, it may look a certain way, but going in, you know you're gonna have that.
Mhm.
You know things are gonna be looked at, he can't do that.
Yeah,
You know some things, right?
that's right.
So you expect, old sermon, delays are not denials.
Okay.
And so you walk on that. And so when Turner did what he did, to the glory.
Mhm.
But he wasn't expecting the city to put a dime in. And in reality, they weren't supposed to. All right, so then we spoke about budgets.
Mhm.
Budgets are real.
Yeah.
And they set 2 or 3 years in advance, and you gotta follow. Now, new guy come in and say it ain't in the budget. Nobody ever said it was needed to be in the budget.
Mhm.
That ain't a reason to delay,
Sure.
but that's what the recent denial is. And so anyway, we where we are. But the blessing of the week is if Clean Capital can come up with 15 to perform. We just had a partner that stepped up and saying, we want in bad enough to where we take on all the debt.
Wow.
So now city,
Amen.
we'll sit down and we'll just pretty much say, what's your hold up now?
That's right. What's your excuse?
Yeah, because you don't need the press. You don't need the press, you just need to sign, let's move on with the project. That's where we're at. That's called godly given leverage. I'm saying this,
Cool.
I'm saying this online, but it is what it is.
I had a quick
Because
question.
God is a big dude. He can do what he wants.
I missed what the first E was in geek.
Oh,
Extreme.
No, that's the same.
Global Education
Education.
Exchange
Coalition.
Coalition.
All right. Okay, cool.
Now, it's all about education
Got to be.
globally. And when we exchange, makes for a good coalition.
Okay, amen. Before I ask my next question, but Ken, you got a question?
Well,
I mean, you don't have to, I don't wanna hog up the mic, so.
I know. We talk and converse all the time,
Yeah.
and,
Well, hit me one, man, you ain't hit me with, come on.
And remember, the question is not so much for you as it's for the people.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, let me say this. Now, we started a program to save our youth. And sometimes they don't want to be smart engineers.
Sure.
They just want a job.
Yeah.
So if we have a start them young,
Mm-hmm.
which I can teach you how to build a fence.
Okay.
I can teach you how to fly drones. I can teach you different things that
Sure.
you might like. And you employed, and you part of the Sunshine and Sunnyside team.
That's right.
And it can even expand all across Houston. But it's starting them young is something they will be interested in, what can land them in jail.
How young is young?
We said 16, right?
We've actually gone younger than that.
We gotta let it go. We got a video.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
7 years old.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And little Charlie sells the video.
Yeah.
He does.
I'm sure.
He told me, I'm like, this little dude need to come to my program. How long this been? A year and a half. I ain't seen little Charlie yet. I can't wait to see little Charlie. But man, he sells it. We'll share the video with you, but it's when I see kids like that. Now I'm gonna share this. We have the winner of our last year's Youth Talent Expo. Just so happened to come in the program with her older 2 brothers. She was in a stroke.
Mm.
She was sitting over in the corner, and this kid, if I ran the 4-hour program, I didn't have to worry about that many screams. That kid was engaged, right?
Mhm.
And so that kid told me, I'm gonna do comedy. I'm like, you gonna do comedy? I couldn't wait to see it. She won. First place. Man, we are growing some seeds that, and the other thing that she told me, and because she said it, I already put it in the bank.
Mhm.
She told me, she said, I'm gonna be an astronaut.
Okay.
I told her, I'm gonna see to it that you are.
That's right.
If I'm here and she even goes to college for being an astronaut, don't let her become one. If I'm still here, 20 years from now, I'll be 80 something. I would die good with that. So you heard it from me. So if we talking 82-ish, then but anyway, that'd be a blessing to me.
All right, so can you still think about the question? Cause I got.
Oh, no, I have
All right,
Well, let me say something to try.
Yeah.
Travis.
Boy,
Oh, Trey, you like Tracy, that's another name.
man, I just want both Sunnyside in the house. Cause it's a wonderful thing if we civically change Sunnyside, we
Come on.
can. But we have one on the books. And I don't mind picking again, because in reality, if you are the director, Department of Energy, you tour Sunnyside, I dream with you, and you're not helping my dreams come true. But I showed you a solar barbershop. I still want a solar barbershop in Sunnyside,
Hmm.
like we talked about. And it's gonna give DOE glory, so Solar for All should have been for us to help us do what we talked about.
Hmm.
Just wanted you to know,
Come on.
I'm looking for a partner before the buying money clears up. So let's make it shine in Sunset. So Travis, that's me, bro. All right.
Oh, Brother Ken, your question?
Okay, there's a quote that says, we need more light about each other. Light creates understanding, understanding creates love, love creates patience, and patience creates unity. From Malcolm X.
Right.
Okay.
I love him.
How do we get those that are following us right now, that are on this, live broadcast, to help to spread that light, to get the light out of those kids, to look inside themselves?
That's a great question. And I like how it was written. But when it was first written, it was really Jesus saying, I am the light. I'm the way. Don't put my light underneath the bed, cover me up. But be light. When you come in and you turn that switch on, all attention is drawn to the light. I want to be the light and sunny side that presents opportunity and opportunity shines. Likewise, all around the world, that's what it's all, the travel and the exchange is about. Exposing light. Nobody wants more darkness. And so when we say sunshine and sunny side, we literally mean a community that used to be a black Wall Street was shut down because of, guess what, oil and gas.
Huh.
We lost our jobs. Now we have an opportunity to let sunshine make it shine again. Why wouldn't we want to collectively do it? So that we all keep the light and the darkness stays out.
So what can they do? What can they, I mean, because everyone has a voice.
What you can do immediately is show up Monday.
That's right.
It's Labor Day. You may not be able to eat Gatlin's barbecue, but who's surprised? Gatlin's barbecue might be the one providing the meal.
That's right.
But we're gonna feed you not only knowledge, but fellowship. Because that's what we need more. When we fellowship one another, we get more comfortable and we see ourselves
That's right.
in the bigger picture.
Yep.
A lot of times we stay on the outside and say what it can't be, but let's rub elbows together. Vision, this dream, that's all I do, dream, and I share my dreams
That's what's up.
with people. And either you become a part of the dream or you become haters.
That's right.
Let's quit being haters. This is the way I see it.
Yeah.
Quit being haters and be participators.
Yeah.
Man,
All right.
Love it.
Cool. I only have two more questions. The next one is
only two?
only two. I've had five total.
Man, you already asked 10. Come on.
My bad.
No, man, that's what I like to do.
How large is the solar farm and how much power does it generate?
Great question. A dump that's been 240 acres of an asphalt. Nothing good about it at all. Turns into a beautiful 50 megawatts of solar that tracks with the sun. Let me make sure you understand what I'm saying. Tracking with the sun means in the morning, it's gonna be pointing toward the east. 12 o'clock, it's gonna be flat. Around 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, it'll be pointing to the west.
Okay.
People are gonna be coming internationally just to see it move.
Hmm.
Now, just to say, damn, it just moved. Now, to go even a step further, we have indoor classroom that's been taking us 2 years to get a permit.
Okay.
Permit.
Hmm.
Hope y'all hear me too. Just because you don't know about solar don't mean you have to be afraid of everything new. So 2 years, because in the back of it, they made us have a retention pond. Traps. In our neighborhood with ditches, why do we need a retention pond? But it's just something, because you're afraid, you say do it, and it costs you extra money. So 40 by 40, inch and a half deep. So what I do, I design around it.
Come on.
Put me some park benches, put me one row of a solar ground mount that's gonna track with the sun.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be moving. Do me another one over here, and because I'm putting it over a potential body of water, it took them a year to say, yeah, if you have a pole here on the high side,
Yeah.
drop down, foot and a half, put the other pole over there, it never is in water. I told them that day one, but they gotta look at engineering drawings and get confident.
Sure.
So anyway, we'll have a tracking every 5 minutes, it'll be moving. It's just so many showcases that we've built in Sunnyside. It started with my parents' birth home. We talked about that already, off the grid.
Yeah.
Center point, you can't shut me down no more. The solar outdoor classroom, the community garden, which is right behind the barbershop, the solar barbershop. The Veterans Garden, which is directly across from the solar farm to me.
Okay.
We've already put an EV charging station there. We have, that EV will be there, Cadillac will be there, and the electric bus, which is an EV, and Rice University has an electric vehicle that I haven't seen, but they just made it. They'll be there. We'll be connected to the internet. This is the most important part I need you for. We're going to be connecting to our program called GEEC, Global Education Exchange Coalition, at 10 a.m. So if you're somewhere in Houston, and you just want the link, we'll share the link with you. But I want you to come out to 3410 Reed Road, 77051 at 9:45. Be on time. You can log on and participate from the location where everything's gonna be happening. Monday, Labor Day, and you get to eat afterwards. Only bring yourself, no, it's a joke. But I don't want to invite 20 people, but we do need, we're looking for about 150.
Okay.
So,
We can tour.
Monday would be the perfect time to tour.
Tour.
Yeah. And we will actually have electric vehicles that you ride in. They'll be going by our sites. So you will experience about 6 miles round trip with us.
Wow. Wow. Amen. Amen.
Huh?
Absolutely.
Oh,
How
man,
about now?
I would be remiss if I didn't announce, we're having our first cancer walk. Cancer walk is because I think you may have noticed my voice is different now. My on-the-job injury turned into cancer. And in the midst of cancer, you go in about 18 months ago and you realize it started in your mouth, nose area where I ingested.
Mm.
And it started a cancer that was eating away the roof of my mouth. So you go in and they tell you, we're gonna cut your whole jawbone out, some of your nose. So basically, I have been reconstructed. The whole jawbone, upper jawbone was out, so they took bone marrow, made exactly the same mold that had with the other mold that cut out, put it in, and my voice is pretty close to the way I used to sing.
Mm.
Now, for about 6 months, I had no people. My roll over six to my wife, and she had that look on her face.
Mm.
And I didn't ask for nothing, but she didn't understand me. That hurt for 6 months not to be able to communicate to you, move, whatever you want to talk.
Yeah.
But now, I'll have her teeth out in the nighttime, and she still can't hear, but during the day she can. But, so I learned how to talk to you. And I teach
Mhm.
kids, Bible class, from the young to the senior citizens.
Yeah.
He's been able to do it for 6 months. God blessed me with an opportunity to speak at the Covenant Church,
Okay.
downtown Houston. When you get an opportunity, the first thing you do, you Google the address, White Church. I went because I was sent.
Yeah.
Walk in the room, you all set up ready to go, just like we are right now. You see about 13 elder whites come in. Okay, that's what I expected. But then I saw one little young brother, might be 25.
Mhm.
I'm like, all right. I played with what I had. My subject, which he's recording,
Mhm.
is, are you an angel?
Okay.
So you can imagine the look on their face. Because you only got 2 ways to go.
Yeah.
You sit in the church house, you know if you're an angel
Mhm.
or you the other.
That's right.
And so I led out to talk about what all has happened to me, and that the reason I'm here is because I know I'm an angel.
Yeah.
I'm on assignment to do what he sent me to do. Therefore, it's gonna get done. Can't no city stop me from doing what I'm doing
That's right.
because he's bigger than the city. So Travis, we live it.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen because the angel said so.
That's right. That's right. Okay, my last question before we wrap it up and I get to our I guess intro. Do you have any plans to expand the program beyond Sunnyside where you have other physical locations or satellite locations, if you will, around the city? Do you have any plans to do that?
It's,
After Sister I said, of course, you hook up with her.
it's amazing you asked that because it's already happened.
Okay.
Because I was delayed with the solar farm, we were already talking about what we were doing 2 or 3 years ago. So when Reagan came, Department of Energy, and we toured Fifth Ward, and because Fifth Ward's, I'm gonna say, better ability to get politicians that can make grants happen.
Mm-hmm.
That's nice.
They were the first solar for all. First solar for all entity funded that I'm aware of. 20 million made it to Houston.
Okay.
Now, the part that was a killer to me, I call it a blessing. They wrote me in to do the workforce development component.
Amen.
I'm like, I'm glad y'all know me and I know you.
That's right.
Yeah. So anyway, I will start more likely doing Fifth Ward's workforce development. They ain't got a solar farm to build,
Wow.
but they'll be a part of my team.
That's right.
Dual credit is what I call it.
That's right.
And so, but to extend it even further, under Turner, we had Houston Complete Communities,
Mm-hmm.
10 of them. The target was acquiring all 10.
Okay.
When I do it Sunnyside, I'm doing the other 9.
That's right.
I already got Fifth Ward, need the other 8. And so when you're looking to take successes you have here, expand them all across Houston.
That's right.
Now it looks good all over Houston.
Okay.
And our views.
All right. Let's give Brother Efrem a hand. Thank you very much. All right. Okay, brother. Thank you very much. I appreciate you.
Where else to be had?
And we most certainly going to build and generate together. What I like to say before I introduce our guest is that I try to remind our people that everything we need, we already have, but we don't know it because we don't talk to each other.
Just don't.
You know, if we took time, as you said earlier, if we took time to have conversations, to break bread, to fellowship with one another, we'll realize that every issue we have, there's a melanated African descendant with a solution. And sometimes they're 2, 3, 4 years old. And they're born to be that solution. We just have to raise them up in an environment that's not anti them so they can become what they're supposed to become.
Amen, brother. You
So-
said well.
Thank you. So on that note, we're going to bring up real quick Brother Ken from Unity One. He's going to speak briefly about what he does and how he does it.
Really?
And then we will hold on. I'll hold the camera for you.
Oh, thank you. Kind of caught me off spot.
I know you.
Yeah, because normally I'm behind the camera, but what we do, Unity One, as the name implies, is unite, visually documenting what we do in the community. So like Efrem has said, I've worked with Travis with the Robin Hood Project downtown. I've worked with several different entities, from the Links to different fraternities and organizations. And we want to show or bring out the light that's from within. Look inside yourself to see the wealth, as opposed to looking outside and seeing certain materialistic things. You'll be surprised what is inside, what God has for you.
Yes, sir.
And then you want to share that light. So if we unite and work together, then we can get more accomplished. I think the quote is, "With many hands make light work."
Light work. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So again, my name is Kenneth Ellison. I'm the Executive Director of Unity One. You're welcome to search for that information on the internet. You'll see where we have visually documented the solar farm that we spoke about, and the 240 acres that is being resurrected into, a new productive part of the community. Okay, that's real brief. I'll stop there.
Okay, thank you very much. For
Thank you.
You component and drone.
Okay. So it is about the kids, because kids emulate their environment. I did grow up in the Sunnyside and Cloverland area. I did witness back in the days how clean it was, and how, we basically had like doctors and all kinds of, different prominent figures in the community. But then I've also noticed how it's decreased as well. So we're going to turn that around. We work with the kids, and if we start with the kids and teach them in the way that they would go, when they grow,
Come on.
like the seeds,
Come on. Trees.
and then
Redwoods.
and you can tell the tree by the fruit that it bears.
That's right.
So we want to be shining examples and project a positive image in the community, and working together in unity. I think that we can get this accomplished. No, I know we can get it accomplished.
So you plant the seed with me.
That's my big brother, Efrem.
Isn't that something community needs?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So at our studio in Cloverland, we're having a fence build. We started off with a fence build with Charlie. DeWalt came out, brought their tools and things of that nature. Hey, DeWalt, we need you to come back out again. We're having another fence build at the Unity One Studios. When is it?
This coming Thursday.
You hear?
This coming Thursday.
This coming Thursday. We're having it at the Unity One Studios, which is located right there at Cloverland Park on that same street, Hickok. And we also teach about drones. I'm a drone pilot as well, so you learn about aerial photography. You want to have different perspectives and different angles, so you can have different skills as well. So that's another thing that we do. The Start 'em Young program. We start them young. We also have a community garden program, Unity in the Community Garden Program. So we plant seeds and things of that nature. I can keep going, but like I said, it begins here, and that development continues. Oh, there you go. I knew it.
He's gonna say what I want to say.
Come on.
I want to say,
Sometimes it takes an elder. Come on.
now, a program in a community, we got a dumping problem, right?
That's right.
If we can teach kids how to fly drones, and their job is to fly a mission a day,
That's right.
Imagine, you put your drone up, all you trying to do is do juggling right there when they're jumping.
Uh-huh.
All you do, you tell the community, this area is being monitored by drones. They don't know when the drone flying.
That's right.
Kids got a mission.
That's
They
right.
fly when they want to.
Yeah,
If they capture you, we got you now.
that's right. Amen.
See, I didn't want to say all of that, but
That's beautiful.
it's a program, that's in development. And, this development, works, it basically as neighborhood watch. So,
Come on.
yeah, and it's,
And what's the cops?
there you go.
The cops, man.
It's called COPS.
Come on.
COPS stands for Kids, Kid Observers Protecting Society,
Beautiful. Beautiful.
okay?
Yeah.
KOPS.
Come on, brother. Come on. I
So,
love it.
so that's what, that's one of our programs that we utilize the drones for. That's just a tool.
That's right.
And, anyway, let me stop
All
there.
right.
Thank you.
All right, thank you for Ken. All right. So really quick, before we ask, since I said to come up, I want you guys to really understand what just happened. I just said that everything we need, we already have, but we don't know because we don't talk to each other, right? So if you were to think about the jobs in the community, let's just start with Sunnyside, that other people do. Plumbing, electrician, energy, policing, those are jobs, right? So what if we found the people that already know how to do those jobs and we train the youth to do those jobs? We can redirect that economic base that's going to other people and pay our own children to do it by people who look like us that are teaching the children how to do it. We're always talking about Black Wall Street, get back to it, blah, blah. It don't have to be a major thing. If we just find the right people, they already exist, that are doing the work, who are willing to teach the youth, we can not only take over multi-million-dollar industries, but we can create new industries. Once the COPS program becomes successful, because it will, you franchise the model. And then you got more revenue coming in, you training more youth in other spaces, and you can not only monitor those who are dumping trash, you can monitor other stuff too. And with the right political leadership, wink, wink, nod, nod, brother. With the right political leadership, you don't have a problem with the permitting. You don't have a problem with the funding. You don't have a problem with the land. You don't have a problem with buildings and institutions because it's already in the community, but it's not being properly utilized. Why? Because we don't have the right political leadership. Nod, nod, wink, wink, brother. All right. So on that note, we're gonna introduce one person who's a guest in the audience. Sister I said who's gonna talk about the Eye of Ra Center. Give her a hand.
All right, hi fam. I am Aset. I am the founder of the Eye of Ra Holistic Center in Stafford, Texas. And our mission is to promote well-being throughout our community. So we focus on mental, physical, spiritual, and community health. A lot of times we talk about the issues facing the Black community. We all can do that really well, but we don't really talk about the root cause and then how to mitigate that. And so one of the things that we do at the center is, well, we do several things, but we have classes, workshops, and events in place to help us navigate through this healing work that we have to do. Our people are the most oppressed people on this planet. We are still being mentally, spiritually, physically oppressed.
That's
and so the Eye of Ra Center, we are here, we're a beacon of light to help people who are ready to go through that healing process. We're there to help them through that process. We really focus on not just the children, but we focus on everyone. But we do have a program that's free, and it's free yoga and free meditation for the youth. We have a youth program from 6 to 12, and then we have a teen program from 13 to 17. And the goal of that program is to help our children begin to develop high emotional IQs. That's a major issue in our community because we have a lot of frustration. We don't know what to do with it and how to, elevate. So we help children learn and develop higher emotional IQs so that they can navigate through society. We deal with a lot of trauma. So we help people navigate through that trauma. We know that we are not just physical beings, we're spiritual beings, right? We're energy beings. So we do energy work. We help people identify where trauma is stored in their body, and we help them release that. And we have a track record of really allowing people to go through that process, freeing them, and then they move on and elevate to, you know, just higher places in their life. We've had people come in who was just like stagnant, not sure where to go and what to do, and now they're in med school. They're fulfilling their divine purpose in life. So we have a lot going on at the Ira Holistic Center. Check us out. The website is iofracenter.com. We are a nonprofit organization, 501c3. So we are constantly doing things in the community, and we're constantly looking for supporters.
All right.
Any questions?
Talk about your crowdfunding real quick.
Oh, we are currently running crowdfunding. So we are in the process of raising funds for our cafe.
Yeah.
So the vision for that space was to be able to service the community in all those areas, mentally, physically, and spiritually. So right now, the food portion is the holdup. So we're raising funds to finish the cafe build out, and it will be a plant-based cafe. But it's not just a cafe. We will work with people to curate meal plans to help them combat certain diseases, such as autoimmune, hypertension, and things of that nature. So we are looking for people to support that. If you're interested in doing that, you can go to our website.
Come on.
And that website is iofra.org. So it's EYEOFRA.org.
Right. Thank you very much. All right.
Do you need somewhere to grow your plants?
Say that again.
Do you need somewhere to grow your plants?
You need somewhere to grow your plants.
Absolutely. So a part of the vision was to have an aquaponic farm. So that's if you go to the website.
Look at God. Look at God.
Yeah. To produce all of the vegetation that we're going to be serving at the cafe. I didn't say that again.
You see two aquaponic systems.
But you gotta come out on Monday to see
Oh,
what the
there,
plants are.
I'm right there. I'm bringing people. So I will see you on Monday.
Occupied system.
Absolutely. I'm excited.
All right.
All right.
All right. Thank you, sister.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it. All right, so in closing, we like to talk about here in well, not here. Well, actually here before I forget. We're at Gatlin's Barbecue. I don't eat meat,
All right.
but I've heard that the food is awesome. So if you're ever in the area of 610 and Ella, please stop by Gatlin's Barbecue, because the brother and his son made it possible for us to be here, which is very, very, very important. So give a Gatlin's Barbecue plug. Secondly, we believe in Black Gold Nation that in order for us to empower and free our people, we have to implement what we call the 6 pillars of empowerment: spirituality, right culture, education, economics, socioeconomics, and politics. We believe that no matter what we have going on, no matter how deep it is, how great the idea is, how much sense it makes, if we don't have spirituality and right culture, it's not going to be successful and it's not going to work. Sister Aset talked about us being the most oppressed people on the planet, which is true. If you were to add up all the years of everything that we've been through since we've been here in North America, it will be over 2,800 years of stuff. From slavery to now, if you add up all that stuff that we've been through, we hadn't received therapy 1 for any of that. We hadn't received counseling 1 for any of that. But we're still here, functioning, many of us at a high level. Without what Sister Aset brings to the table, that spiritual component that we need to be empowered and free, that right cultural component that we need to be empowered and free, we won't have without what she brings. So our brothers and sisters who operate in the spiritual and cultural spaces, extremely important, because we need our people to be healed to ensure that Brother Ken and Unity One is successful, that Brother Efrem, I won't say Ephraim, Brother Efrem and what he does is successful. We got to heal our people so that we can retake, because no one's going to give it to us. We can retake our communities, retake the land, and we can have Black Wall Streets all over the place. And it's wide open for us to take. But we got to be ready, willing, and able. And without spirituality and right culture, we're not going to be ready, willing, and able. So on that note, thank you guys very much. We'll see you next Thursday morning breakfast. And God bless you. Have a good one. Thank you. All right.